Scrimming, or scrimmages, is a form of practice where two teams play against each other in low stakes competition to test their mettle against each other. As someone who manages multiple teams and has been a team captain for my entire 2 years of being in the scene, I have done my fair share of scrim management and setup. However, I have noticed a few common struggles and questions for many newer teams. 1. Where do I find scrims? 2. What should I keep in mind when I do scrim? 3. What is the code of conduct I should be following? And 4. What should I avoid doing in scrims? To begin, let's discuss where to find scrims. There are multiple good resources to do so let me go over my own system for scheduling scrims. First, I make a post on Sendu's Scrim tab. This is by far the easiest and hassle-free way to find a scrim since all the information you need is in one convenient place. You can scroll down and find teams around your skill level looking for the same time you are. You can see what map preferences they want to try, maybe if they're preparing to play in a specific event, and what to practice that event's map pool specifically, for example, Ludi, and any other notes, like if the other team would prefer not to play against screen. When scheduling scrims, I like to put up posts around 2 to 3 days in advance, and I check daily to see if anyone has sent a booking request to clear my team. If, on the day of, I haven't found anyone, that's when I go down further and search more extensively. Looking for scrim channels and Discord servers are particularly common. Nearly every single organization has one. I typically ping in Inkling Performance Labs and Stronghold, as those are the two most active, popular servers that most people check first. If even this fails to find a scrim in time, I have one more option I resort to. My last resort option is pinging teams I know directly, asking people I know and trust to see if they are available at the date and time I want. This is not the first step I do, because if it was, I would primarily be scrimming teams I already know, which isn't good in the long term, since you tend to pick up on habits that only that one team will do. That, and typically if a team you know is interested, they would either book on Sendu or have DM'd you directly long before this point. Hopefully, after all that effort, another team has contacted you and is ready and willing to scrim you. Perfect. Okay, now you have a separate team ready to go, there's still a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, obviously, you should make sure your own team is ready to play. Make sure to ping DM them, whatever you have to do to ensure no wires get crossed and everyone is available when they say they are. When the time comes, ideally get everyone into VC around 15 to 30 minutes before the scheduled time. So, for example, if you have a scrim at 7 p.m., I'd be wanting to see the whole team in voice chat and Discord around 6:30 or 6:45 p.m. It is 100 times better to be way too early than way too late. You should also consider asking in advance which team would prefer the host, especially if one team has more than 4 members, as subbing in between games is common, and set up a preferred map list in advance so both teams aren't spending time during the scrim struggling to decide on which mode to play next. Some basic code of conduct tidbits to keep in mind are as follows. If you're late by more than 10-15 minutes, apologize to the other team and take steps to prevent it from happening again. This could be pinging your teammates earlier, setting up a schedule in advance so people have a better understanding of what's happening week by week, whatever works for your team. Being late to a scrim wastes, at minimum, 4 other people's time. Take a scrim seriously enough, the same way you would a competitive set in a tournament, but also remember it is still practice first and foremost. And thirdly, make sure to stay in touch with the other team's captain and make sure you communicate responsibly whenever things come up. In addition, some very common complaints that he talked about that you should try to avoid at all costs. Being considerably late to scrims by more than 15 minutes. Being late is by far the most common reason I see teams go something along the lines of, that was okay, but let's not scrim that specific team again. Taking too many breaks during scrim time, a few 15 to 5-10 minute breathers, get some water, take a mental rest reset okay, but it does add up fast. I would shoot for less than 20 minutes if possible. Not taking a scrim seriously enough. Nobody wants to play against a team who loses once, then switch to the Quad Hydra or something else equally absurd. To sum everything up and give the too long didn't read, setting up a scrim is about getting 8 or more people into one private battle lobby from multiple different teams. You should treat yourself and your opponent with respect and avoid doing things that will waste everyone's time. Do all those things I've talked about here, and you will start to find teams who want to regularly scrim against and with you, and that is the root of most connections in our small scene. If you want to see more reviews like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.